What's up, guys? My name is Anthony, and I don't like cucumbers. I don't know why I said that. My name is Anthony, and I don't have an intro. There you guys go. If you guys ever say my intro along with me, then I probably just screwed you over. But anyways, there you guys go. I said it. I love you guys. Anyways, I'm back for another Storytime commentary. And this Storytime commentary was the very first one that I ever did on my channel. But I don't feel as if whenever I did it way back then, I don't feel like the commentary gave the story the justice it deserved. I don't feel as if I did a good enough job on it. So I decided that I was going to retell you guys, because most of you didn't see the video. Only about, I don't know, it only had like 200 views, and now it's like privated. So only a couple of you saw this video, but I'm going to be telling you about the time that I almost got arrested when I was 12 years old. Alright, so a little bit of background information before we get started with the actual point of the story. At this point in time, like I said, I was 12 years old, and I would always hang out with my one friend who lived down the street. His name was Jay. I'm obviously not going to say any last names here, but his name was Jay, and me and him used to hang out every single day, and we would do this without fail. And, you know, whenever we first hung out, we did all the normal things that kids did. We played football, we played basketball, we did sports, we played video games, but eventually we got kind of bored of all of that. And there was this one phase from about the beginning of the summer till about the New Year's that me and him just had this strange obsession. I mean, we were just crazy about fire. We picked it up, I think we picked it up around the 4th of July because we started screwing around with all the fireworks, and we really found that was a lot of fun for us because we had never set off fireworks before that. I mean, we did like little sparklers and stuff like that, but in my neighborhood, some of the guys let us set off like legitimate fireworks that go flying up in the air. So we kind of started going crazy with fire. I mean, we always were carrying lighters, and the funny thing is, I think my parents thought we were smoking, and I mean, I don't smoke, so that's kind of funny, but yeah, we were always carrying around lighters, and we probably looked like, you know, the really bad kids in the neighborhood, but we weren't doing anything really bad. I mean, we weren't doing anything illegal. We were just taking like paper and we were burning it, and then we had this one skateboard that we didn't like, and so we took the skateboard, we sprayed WD-40 all over it, and we lit it on fire. And right when we lit it on fire, and like, I don't know if you guys have ever messed around with WD-40. If you haven't, then don't do it. It's a bad idea. Don't mess around with stuff that says flammable. But we put it all over the skateboard, lit it on fire, and it just made this like ball of fire. And right as that happened, my dad actually came right around the corner. And I was actually in a bit of trouble for that one, but looking back, I found that pretty funny. But anyways, story of that, don't mess around with WD-40. Actually, the bottom line moral of this entire commentary is to not mess around with fire in general. It's a bad idea, but you're going to understand why in just a second. But I really wish I took my own advice from just a second ago, because if I hadn't messed around with fire, then I wouldn't have gotten in a lot of the trouble that I did get in. We almost set a lot of stuff on fire that would have really been bad. We were screwing around with it indoors, which is always a bad idea. Bottom line, we were just kind of idiotic 12-year-olds. But anyways, moving on a little bit from the 4th of July, we're looking at Halloween. Now, I'm not sure if people overseas celebrate Halloween, but basically what it is it's one night where people go door to door and they get candy, and it's a holiday over in America. I'm not sure, you know, this is the first time I ever really thought about this. I don't know if people overseas celebrate Halloween, but you guys can figure out what Halloween is on yourself. Basically, people dress up and they have costumes and stuff, and it's a fun night, but we were both 12 years old, and we weren't dressing up or anything, so we were hanging out that day as usual, and we were screwing around with fire as usual. Now, in my neighborhood, we have this little park area, and this park has this little place where you can, there's like a bench or two, and there's a roof over it, so if it's raining, you can still eat or whatever. Now, we went over to this place. It's actually called a pavilion, and Jay was like, hey, I'm going to go on top of here, put some toilet paper down, and then light it on fire. And like an idiot, I thought this was the greatest idea that we ever had in our life. Now, we both get on top of the roof, and we're putting all this toilet paper down, and we're getting ready to light it. And right as we go to light it, we hear the cop siren go. Now we turn around and it is pitch dark. It's about 8 o'clock at night right now, so we can't see anything. But we turn around and we see the cop flashing his lights. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I took a shit in my pants. I mean, Not literally, but I was so scared. I mean, I'm 12, he's 12, and there's this cop there. Now, we're trying to figure out what we should do, because for a minute there, we were thinking about just taking off and sprinting in the opposite direction, but the guy got out of his car, and he's this really big guy, and he says, "Hey kids, come over here. What are you doing?" So he goes over and he sees that we got all the toilet paper on, and then he takes our bag, because we had all of our lighters and all of our goodies that we were going to mess around with in the bag, and he kind of puts two and two together, and so he starts yelling at us, and he has just given us a really hard time. I mean, he just is going off at us, and so then he actually pats us down. I mean, we're 12 years old, and he pats us down, and my friend had a couple of pencils in his pocket, and I'm never going to forget this. The guy goes, "He's got a sharp object in his pocket." He's like talking into his remote or walkie-talkie or whatever it is, and he's freaking out. And my friend takes out his pencils. He's like, "No, no, 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 they're pencils, they're pencils." And he's like, "Put them on the ground." So like my friend drops the pencils. It was just so funny. So then what he does is he calls in for backup, and me and my friend are kind of looking at each other, and we're like, why in the world would he need backup? So he calls in his superior guy. I don't know if it was like his chief or something, but he calls in a superior, and he brings the guy over here, and he's telling him what we were doing, and the guy's just shaking his head. And so in the end, he just made us call our parents, and our parents came and picked us up, and my parents were mad at me, and his parents were mad at him. But that was kind of my scare with the police at 12 years old. If you were in my shoes, you would have been very, very scared. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the storytime commentary. I'm talking a little bit over the gameplay here, but if you guys enjoyed it, give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces, bacon.